What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty from Ty Drives, and this is the 2025 Kia Sorento. Now, this isn't just any Sorento. This is the plug-in hybrid in the top trim SX Prestige trim level. So very, very nice one for us to take a look at today. And throughout this video, we're going to take a look at all the features on the outside, under the hood, in the cargo area, the third and second row of seating, and all of the tech in the front rows. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. Now, in case you're wondering how this Sorento plug-in hybrid drives, I'm wondering the same thing. So I have provided a second and different video for just that. So I've strapped the GoPro to my head and we take this Sorento for a test drive. You can find a link to that at the end of this video or on my channel, Ty Drives. Well, let's get straight into it with the features on the outside. So take a look at these headlights. Pretty cool shape to them. LED projector bulbs for the high and low beams, and also LEDs for the daytime running lights and turn signals. And taking a look down below, we have some parking sensors that go all the way from the side all the way across. So we have kind of a 360 view of parking sensors. Nice looking chrome with some glossy black, or a nice looking grille with chrome, I should say, with glossy black. And then we also have a camera right below the Kia emblem for your 360 camera view too. Nice looking hood that is kind of squared off but slopes down into your grille. And we have 19-inch, these kind of like Aero style wheels. Very cool looking, glossy black and alloy finish. The tires measure up at 255/35. I'm sorry, 235/55. We have a little bit of trim on the side, and our mirrors are kind of glossy black and body colored, with another set of cameras for both your blind spot view, your blind spot camera, and your blind spot indication. And we have chrome surrounding your windows, silver painted roof rails, and a nice large panoramic roof up there. Now this is where things get cool. I'll give you a sneak peek at the interior, which is dust blue. So we have blue on blue for this vehicle, and the exterior color is called mineral blue, so that's pretty cool. You can see the blind spot indicator right on the mirror, and we also have smart key entry on both the front door handles. Quick glance at the window sticker reveals a $54,985 MSRP. And again, remember, this is fully loaded, so a little bit of a pricier sticker, but this car is absolutely fully loaded with the top powertrain. Pretty cool little fin styling, and we have our gas door right on the driver's side. At the back, we have full LED tail lamps for your turn signals, tail lights, and your brake lights. So that looks pretty awesome. Taking a step back, we have our reverse lights nice and low so that you could see very good at night. Parking sensors again all the way across the rear bumper, even on the sides. We have our hidden exhaust tip. And up here on our spoiler, we even have our rear view camera mirror for the rear view camera mirror, I should say. We have the Sorento badging, Kia right up top, and right below that is your parking camera. And then right below this little lip here is the release for your trunk. And we also have the PHEV badging. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my friends at Blazius Kia in Watertown, Connecticut for providing this car for me. And what do you guys think of the styling? Let me know in the comments. In case you were wondering about the battery, the inlet is actually on the passenger side, and it's a 14 kilowatt hour battery pack. You could do about 30 miles of pure electric driving on the plug-in hybrid setup, so that's pretty awesome. No gasoline engine needed for 30 miles, and it will take you about 4 hours to charge on a 240 outlet. And you can see the charging plug is right there with a little indicator to show you how it's charging. All right, let's talk powertrain on this Sorento plug-in hybrid. I'm sure you're wondering what powers this vehicle, and it is a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 for the gasoline engine, and combined with the gasoline engine and the electric motor, you get 261 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. So pretty good power figures. We will get an acceleration clip on our test drive, so make sure you check that out once again. That all comes hooked up to a 6-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive as standard. Now there's some bright orange components that you probably don't want to touch under here, but for the most part, it is a very nice and tidy engine bay with lots of sound deadening material. Of course, we have a power trunk lid in the Sorento SX Prestige, and that does reveal a third row seat. Now I left one side of the third row seat up so you can kind of see the storage space behind the third row of seats, also the storage space behind the second row of seats. And as you can see, we do have captain's chairs in the second row, but we'll get into that in just a minute. As far as cargo amenities back here, we do have some extensions to each side. We also have cargo tie downs back here, and as you can see, your charger that comes with the vehicle, that's pretty cool, and our floor mats, a couple of buttons back here, and functionalities too. We have a 12-volt power outlet, and we can also fold down the second row of seats back here too, for both sides. Now underneath the cargo floor, not a whole lot going on, just some various components and a jack, and there's also a bit of storage where all that plastic is there. And the way you would fold down these third row seats is just pull a little tether and kick it right on down. Once you're all set in the cargo area of the Sorento, we can either close the trunk automatically, or turn that function off rather, or just close the trunk. Alright, so our first glance at the interior of the Sorento, we're going to take a look at the third and second row seats before we head up front. But take a look at the rear door, all very, very nice materials back here. So all soft touch up top, even has a window shade to block the sun from coming in. And we have a metal door handle, some pretty cool textured trim over here, and that blue Napa leather, very, very neat color on this car, I have to say. This is the main reason why I chose to do this particular Sorento out of many, many to choose from here at Blasius Kia. But heated seats in the back, control is right on the door, right next to the window switch, even a cup holder back here on the door. 12 speaker Bose audio system on this SX Prestige model, and a little bit of storage down below. We have this cool stainless steel tray right there, and let's take a look at the third row seats first. Now the way you gain access to the third row is this little button down here, and once we press that, we just let it do all the work. It'll kind of scoot forward and bend forward too. And the other handle there is to fold the seat flat. So once we get into third row, it is not a huge third row, but it's definitely a third row that children can sit back there with ease. It's kind of like, it's kind of the reason why I like the size of the Sorento. Like, it's just big enough to have a third row, but it's not like an overbearing large SUV. As far as amenities back here go, we do have some storage and a cup holder to each side, and we also have USB-C chargers, so that's pretty cool. And they definitely don't skip out on the Napa leather because it's back here too, even in the third row. Putting our seat back, you can see if you're in the third row and needed to get out, there is a button to do that same kind of movement there. And hopping in, I'm about 5'10", but I did scoot this front seat back a little bit more for filming purposes, but I still have 3 to 4, maybe 2 to 3 inches of legroom. We have pockets on each of the backs of the seats here. We also have USB-C chargers on the backs of both of the seats. We have a 12-volt power outlet back here, and even a 3-prong household outlet, so that's pretty cool, in addition to the air vents too. And pretty much flat floor back here. There's the tiniest bit of uprise here for the exhaust and drivetrain, but very roomy back here in the second row of seats. You can see very large panoramic roof too. There's even illumination and grab handles back here. Just a very nice place to be in the second row. What do you say we take a look at the driver's cockpit? Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for, the front cabin. Before we get seated inside, let's check out the driver's door. So we do have a combination of very nice soft-to-the-touch materials up top. The blue Napa leather, that dust blue interior color, very, very neat. That's why I chose to do this particular model, because of the interior color. Nice big metal door handle and 2-person memory for the driver's seat too. We also have our power folding mirror adjustments, lock, unlock, up and down for the windows of course, and powered child lock. So nice amount of features on the driver's door. A bit more storage up front with a little bottle holder and our Bose speaker for the driver's door. Now to the left of the dash we have this pretty cool looking air vent. And once we hop in, you'll kind of see the style of the dashboard there a little bit. Pretty cool looking. And we do have a couple of buttons to the left of the dash for your gauge dimmer, trunk release, traction control off, and your fuel door release. We also have the release for the tilt and telescoping steering wheel and your hood latch right down there. Pretty cool looking kind of aluminum look to the pedals. Very, very nice. And you also have a stainless steel tread plate that says Sorento on it. Now take a look at these seats. Absolutely beautiful Napa leather seats on this car. Perforations, stitching, all kinds of good stuff on this seat. Just a very, very beautiful looking seat, and very customizable. So we have all of your normal controls in addition to 4-way lumbar and powered thigh support. That is pretty awesome. What do you say we hop in and check out the rest of the interior? Alrighty, so now that we're seated inside the Sorento, you can see a very similar dash layout as the kind of regular gas-powered and conventional hybrid setups, but there's a couple of different screens within there we'll check out. But very nice looking and sleek dashboard with the air vents that kind of blend in the center, and your multi-function kind of touch display down here for the radio controls and the climate controls. So pretty nice looking interior. But here goes the key for the Sorento. Very cool looking new style Kia key with the name on both sides. We also have all the functionalities on the sides of the keys. So we have lock, unlock, trunk release, panic alarm, and to the other side, remote start, which is very nice. So pretty cool key there. And they give you a little spot to put it right down there in a little cubby. Of course, we have push button start right behind the steering wheel. And as soon as you start it up, as long as the gas engine is not required, you won't hear anything because we can run purely on electric. Pretty cool. So let's take a look at this steering wheel here. Nice smooth leather with some contrast stitching on the inside. We even have paddle shifters, which is a pretty nice touch. And as far as functionalities go, we have kind of all your media right here. So voice commands, audio volume, different sources with the mode button here. We have our Bluetooth phone controls, a favorites button, and back and forth for your different presets. To the other side, we have kind of some controls for your digital gauge cluster. Also, the rest of the controls are more for your adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist and all that good stuff. Behind the steering wheel, we have a couple of stalks, one for your headlights, fog lights, turn signals, and pay attention to the screen right here when we turn the turn signal on. We do have the blind spot, not only blind spot monitoring, but the blind spot camera, which is awesome, definitely for highway driving, so that's pretty cool. And you also have your automatic high beams on that stalk there, and to the other one, we have our front and rear wipers. Now, taking a look up top here, we do have a bunch of different gauge views which we can control in that screen there. But we're going to take a look at this one just for now, and I'll kind of show you the other ones once we get to the touchscreen. But basically, it is a full digital gauge cluster setup. Over here, we have our digital speed. We also have our speed limit on the particular road we're on. We have the kind of lane keeping assist indicator, our RPMs or tachometer for the gasoline engine when it's on. And we also have our kind of power, eco, and charge indicator right there. To the bottom on this side, we have our distance till empty for the gas tank, as well as our gas tank there. Exterior temperature, our what gear we're in, and our battery life for the plug-in hybrid setup. So that's pretty cool. In the center, you can change what you want to see by using either this up-down arrow or the page button. So we can see a couple of different trip settings, so you can kind of customize what you see there. Going down, we can see the engine temperature, tire pressures, power distribution for the all-wheel drive setup, as well as the kind of battery mode, so we can see if the engine is on, powering up the battery or not. And then we also have our range for the electric motor and the gasoline, so that's pretty cool. Now if we press the little page button, we can go over to see navigation guidance and also kind of like a driver's assistance screen, so like your lane keeping assist and all that good stuff. So pretty nice gauge cluster setup. Definitely, you know, a simple setup, not a whole lot of stuff to get lost in, so that's pretty nice. Stitching goes across your dashboard, which is pretty cool, and for the most part it is soft to the touch. And that brings me down to our touchscreen. Now, very simple setup again with our touchscreen. Didn't take me very long to get used to it at all. And so we'll go over a couple of the basic functionalities on this screen. Now, we do have navigation built in, so we could see a nice map. It's not showing a whole lot because we're kind of filming in the middle of nowhere today, but once you zoom out, you can see all the roads and whatnot. You can also search for destinations and stuff there. And if we go back to home, you can see our radio screen. So we have Sirius XM active, AM, FM radio, pretty nice. And we can also search by categories. Very nice 12-speaker Bose audio system, like I said before, and you can quickly toggle on and off that center point setting right there, which is pretty cool. Going back, we have our PHEV screen, so kind of all of your EV related things going on with this screen here. So we have the EV range, battery percentage, and kind of what's going on at your current status. You can see that the gas engine is on currently, charging up the battery a bit. And we can also go to the charging screen where you can schedule charging and whatnot. And then we also have kind of different status here. So if you were to use the 240 volt to get a full charge, you're estimating about 4 hours 20 minutes, and your regular 3-prong household outlet 11 hours 10 minutes. So basically a night's sleep on your 120 volt charger. That's not too bad. Scrolling over, we have a couple of different things such as your phone screen, phone projection, which by the way, this does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have voice memos, weather, valet mode, all kinds of good stuff. And the setup, there's a couple things I wanted to show you really quick. So in the vehicle screen, you could adjust all of your driver's assistance functionalities. So that's pretty cool. You could kind of see all of the driver's assist that this vehicle has. Going back, there is one more thing I wanted to show you, and that is the cluster settings here. So we can adjust the illumination, all that good stuff, and then we can also adjust a theme. So take a look at this. Once we are in the simple gauge cluster screen right now. If we go to circle, we have this pretty cool, classy looking, almost retro gauge cluster that's kind of more normal looking and less futuristic. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have graphics styles. That's pretty cool. If we go to A, B, and C, it does change up a little bit. That's pretty neat looking kind of customability there for your gauge clusters. That's pretty neat. And if we go back, there is a couple of other things. So in-car vehicle diagnostics, maintenance reminders, and all that good stuff. You can also get in a owner's manual through the screen there. Now if you swipe from the top, that'll be all your Kia Connect settings, and then we also have a couple of quick things to log in different profiles and whatnot throughout the screen there too. Now taking a look down here, we kind of have those nicely hidden air vents. Right in the middle you have your hazards. And this screen right down here is kind of multifunctional. What I mean by that is a lot of Kia models are switching to this setup, and I think it's actually pretty cool. Now you can actually choose to have this here, so which has kind of all the media, navigation related controls, or you can click right down here to switch it to your climate control. So very, very cool. We'll kind of go over the media stuff first. We have our volume knob here, which will then change to your temperature once you switch over to the climate controls. These 4 buttons here will remain the same, which is good. So we have your defrosters, automatic climate, and recirculating for the air. Down here we have some shortcuts for the screen, and at the very end your tune knob. And if we switch over to climate, again, same 4 buttons here. We have our temperature displays for either side, which is what this and this will do. And then we also have your fan speed right here. We can, uniquely enough, only select kind of a driver's only climate, so that'll kind of shut off the rest of the climate controls and just have the driver going. Then we can also choose where you want the air to blow right there. Pretty cool again, and then AC and sync buttons too. Right down here we have a couple of more seat controls, so your heated and cooled seats are controlled right down here. So a little flip of the switch there will adjust your seats, and again, that's for the driver and passenger side. Right below here, a nice glossy black center console is kind of your phone area. So we have wireless charging right down here and 2 USB-C connections with a little wireless charging indicator light right there. Lots of glossy black going on down here, but that's okay. We do have a pretty cool drive mode selector for the hybrid model. We have over to the left is for reverse, which you can see, nice large reversing camera and a top-down view too, so that's pretty cool. And you can get a myriad of different displays, so we can kind of get a top-down for the reverse camera, regular reverse camera, the rear wheels, and kind of like a wide angle, so that's really, really cool. And we can also get a 360 view, so kind of as if like a drone is flying around you, and you can adjust it however way you want. So that's very, very neat. Good looking camera system for this car. And if you switch it all the way over to drive, that's all the way to the right, and somewhere in the middle is neutral. And then we have a little P button at the top for park. But nonetheless, very nice looking gear selector in this Sorento plug-in. Down here, a couple of more controls for your driving mode. So we have 4 different driving modes: Eco, Sport, Snow, and Smart. Pretty cool and self-explanatory. We also have a center differential lock for the all-wheel drive system, which is pretty nice. Give you just that little extra bit of anti-slippage in slippery conditions. We also have some controls below the driver's mode selector for your 2-stage heated steering wheel, automatic hold for hills, and also a hill descent for hills. We also have an EV mode, which is pretty cool, so that will allow you to drive around just in electric around town. We have your parking sensors and parking cameras, which you can pull up at any time, so that's pretty cool. And now you can also, once you press that parking camera button, you can also see the front cameras and all the kind of settings for the front, just like the rear. One thing I cannot forget to mention is our electronic parking brake. We have a couple of cup holders, and this one actually seems like a little bit bigger and actually deeper, so you can fit maybe a soda can in that one, so it doesn't, slide around. And a little bit of storage right before our center console. Very soft leather on our center console. Once you lift that up, you do have a little removable storage tray and quite a bit of space in the center console there. And the passenger area looks very nice. Cool design with some metal look trim and a pretty cool looking air vent. Lockable glove box too with felt lining. Very nice to see that. And illumination there too. The headliner is a super soft, almost like felt feeling headliner. So that's pretty cool. And same with the sunshade, which by the way does open up. And we can use this button right here to open that right on up. Very fast sunshade too, and it'll go all the way back. Huge panoramic roof to let some light in, and we can also use that same button to either vent or slide the front part of the sunroof, so open it up. We do have, of course, LED lighting on the inside, which is what these 2 buttons are for, and we also have Kia Connect and emergency controls up top. One more thing within the interior, we do have a pretty cool looking mirror, which is frameless. But it's not just any mirror, because you could flip the switch right here and that becomes the digital camera mirror. Pretty neat. And it's also got some controls at the bottom for 1, 2, 3 garage door home links and a couple of settings for the camera itself for brightness and height. So that's pretty neat. Very, very nice looking cameras in this car. And that pretty much does it for all the features on this 2025 Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid SX Prestige. So very long name, but a very, very nice vehicle nonetheless. Make sure you join us for our test drive, and that link should be popping up right about now in this corner of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you stick with us next time.